I really don't understand how I let my room get so messy so often. And generally I try and keep it clean, but again, I feel like I still need more organization pieces. But that's for another time. So not too long ago, I actually asked a few questions, or everyone asked me questions on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. So today we're gonna do a Q&A. I figured I'd kind of clean my room a little bit too, just to give you different angles and stuff like that. So here we are. I'm gonna go through a bunch of different questions that everyone kind of asked me and kind of just answer them. I thought it'd be really neat because we've been growing on YouTube quite a bit. We're almost at 500, I think now by the time of this video. And on top of that, I just thought it'd be fun to answer your questions. So here it is. So first question comes from Lives Fluffy. Lives Fluffy? Lives Fluffy? Going with Lives Fluffy. Fluffy's Lives? You're confusing me now. It's coming from Fluffy. So, how do you get your cam to look so clean? I have tooled around in my camera settings, adjusted lighting, and still it always looks meh to me. So what they're referring to is my stream camera. I've actually had, so not that I'm trying to boast too much, but a lot of people really like my stream camera and they think it looks very good. I worked really hard to get it that way. So I currently use the Sony a6100 with the Sigma 16 1.4. I keep that baby down cranked all the way to 1.4 for the f-stop. I believe my ISO is maybe around like the 200s or something like that. And then other than that, I basically have a key light, the key light Air from Elgato. I have it pointed at the wall, and that's what I use to get a really soft lighting. But honestly, I think the biggest thing is gonna be when it comes to settings and stuff like that, which by the way, by the time you see this, there's probably a new video that I put out on camera basics for streamers. You should go check that out. When it comes down to that, yeah, it's also gonna be the settings and making sure that you have the right settings fine-tuned. So next question comes from One Respawn Please. And the question is, where's the line for you when making content you think is great and just needs a little room to breathe, and content that's great and you just have to stop because it's not working? Oh my God, this is so bright. Hang on one sec, let me fix this. All right, I might get blown out at some point, but we're just gonna leave it. So I feel like for this question, basically, how do I feel like I'm on the right track with content, and how do I know whenever I just need to give up a piece of content? I think honestly, two things. How do you feel when you're creating it? Like, do you really enjoy it and stuff too? Because sure, you could go out there and create content that does really well, but you might not enjoy creating it, and that's gonna catch up to you. Definitely whenever you start pushing yourself a lot to do content, it can be seen in your work that you're not like as passionate about doing it, or even I feel it, like I'm not as passionate about doing it. So I think it comes down to a balance of what kind of content do you like to make, and also two, what kind of content works. So looking at like the feedback that you get from it, the likes and things like that. Oh my, this is gonna kill me. Oh! Maybe I should just put on auto. Am I gonna put on auto? I'm just gonna put on auto and hope. But yeah, so my point is that it's gotta be a balance of what actually works and then what is content you're enjoying. Sooner! If you guys don't know, look, all I'm gonna say is if you know, you know. If you don't, you should probably catch stream sometime when Sooner comes into my stream. So that's all I'm gonna say. Oh man, Sooner asks, what's the one piece of content you've created that you're most proud of? If you had to get rid of one social media content platform that you actively use, what would it be? So I feel like what my favorite piece of content is that I made, that's tough. I think a big turning point for me was whenever I made my second Pipeline application for the scholarship. So if you guys don't know, Pipeline is it's basically a higher education that you can get, essentially a group that offers higher education for content creation and streaming. I've been a part of it since the very beginning, and I'm also associated with them, so I'll leave a affiliate link down in the description below in case you want to check them out. But they also have a scholarship that I basically opened up, which I am a alumni of, or at least I coined it alumni, because I don't know, I got it and I now since got graduated and kicked off of it. So my favorite piece of content was the second video I made for that, because I feel like that's really where I leveled up my content as far as telling a story through visuals and also describing it through voiceover, as well as like really cinematic B-roll that kind of like lined up with each other. And that was the video I probably pushed myself the most to make, and I put probably like 30 or 40 hours into it. So that has to be my favorite piece of content because for me, as a content creator, that was a big turning point for me in my career. What platform would I like to get rid of that I use? Man, this is actually really difficult. If I had to get rid of one of them, I guess I would say TikTok, because I don't know, like with Reels and other things like that, like, I mean, it can just live everywhere else. Yeah, I'd say TikTok, I guess. If TikTok left today, I wouldn't be upset about it. Or if people just stopped using TikTok, I wouldn't be too upset about it. Because there's also TikToks now on like YouTube and everything else. So TikTok it is. See you later. All right, now I'm gonna take a brief break from answering questions. I'm gonna go take a shower real quick because if you didn't know, this is like what I wake up in and stuff like that. So, and by the way, I gotta say, this auto ISO thing is actually working out pretty well. So A7 IV, love it. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Don't miss me, team. I'll be less stinky than I am now. All right, now that I'm back, nice and clean. Wait, coffee. I need my coffee. All right, back to the questions. All right, so question comes from Swagraham. That name was not that hard to pronounce. Swagraham. All right, and they say, what is your favorite content to watch? And do you watch it to learn, for entertainment, or both? I think when it comes to YouTube, my favorite content to watch is gonna be vlogs. I love vlogs. I love the way that just people are just real, natural. I love the cinematic, B-roll that people put in there and stuff too. And I feel like that really inspires me to create more of that kind of content. That's why I like doing stuff like this and trying to throw in B-roll. And I 100% watch it for both entertainment and to learn, because I'm just like seeing the different things that they do, how they shoot their B-roll and stuff too. So I'm constantly doing both. I'm learning and watching for entertainment. Bomber Tank, my man. Yes, Bomber Tank asks, what's the biggest lesson you learned in your content creator journey? Definitely that I think people don't take it to heart whenever you hear people say like marathon, not a race, like I'd really like take that to heart. Like it is a marathon, not a race. And also too, like stop judging yourself to other people's journeys. Like there are plenty of times where I honestly got upset because I was like, what the heck? Like my friends are succeeding, they're getting a partner and I'm not. Like what's the problem? And everyone has their own paths and they're doing their own different things and they're doing it in different ways. So it's like, just don't compare yourself to, your friends or other people, and just take your journey for what it is. Make adjustments along the way, but make sure you're in for the long haul and you enjoy what you're doing. And then secondly, stop comparing yourself to others so much because it will literally be the end of you. So, but thanks so much for the question. I love you, man. Oh my God, Kilo Cat, you gotta stop this. When are we getting a dual PC setup toward Paula? When I actually get around to doing it, which I'm still debating it because I don't know. I feel like there's some like little quirks with my new PC and yeah, I haven't really had a chance to find out what they are. I've tried a lot of different things. So I might just resort to doing dual PC setup for that means alone. I just don't want to have two PCs or have to worry about like the weird switching software to make my, mouse work with both PCs, but soon TM. Jayhawk, the homie, he asked, what's your favorite part of creating? I gotta say, it's a two-part. Like I personally love when I get obsessed with a piece of content, because I'm like, yo, this is gonna be so good. This is awesome. I love this idea. I love whenever I get that feeling and I'm just creating something and I am thoroughly enjoying it. And then second part, I love seeing people's reactions to it. Like whenever you really create a piece and you're like, oh, this is a banger, and then other people see it and they just like flip over it, like they go wild. I love seeing people's reactions to it. But definitely the creative process, when you really start honing in on stuff they really enjoy doing, like I love it. And it's honestly what keeps me going. I mean, the community keeps me going as well as, that feeling. Like those are two things that work hand in hand. So if you're No Faith asks, your work-life balance and self-care routine. Honestly, really bad up to this point. I'm trying to get better about it because I've been going to therapy and stuff like that. And also I have a friend, MD Fit, who continues to push me to think that, or continue to help me change my perspective on the fact that if I'm resting, it's still like productivity. It is productive to rest. You need rest, your body needs rest. So my friend is helping drill that into my head. So I'm getting better about it. But basically self-care routine, I would say, is that sometimes I get to a point where I'm like, I just need to go out and do something. So I will go to a coffee shop, I will go biking, I will go to the gym. Like I will do something to get myself out of my element, my standard element, just so that way it's just a new scenario. That is probably my work-life balance routine. I'm trying to get a little bit better too about like actually making time to, enjoy time with friends and do stuff like that. Great question, Fear. Love you. Jayhawk asked again, go-to cheat meal. All right, 3-course cheat meal, here we go. It'd probably be buffalo chicken dip and chips, obviously. A big fat steak with loaded potatoes on the side, just full of everything, like mashed sour cream, like bacon bits, the whole 9 yards. And then to top it off, dessert would be like a beautiful, like fudge brownie or something like that with like fudge on it, and then also ice cream, vanilla ice cream, lots of whipped cream on top. That would probably be like a cheat meal for me. Like that is something I go out of my way to get every now and again. That's what I would do. Of course Jayhawk would ask a food question, dude. Of course he would. Fluffy Fluffy TG. What's one goal you have set for yourself this year? Biggest goal I have is to basically become a YouTube partner and really start leaning into YouTube and become a much bigger presence on YouTube. Reason being is because I'm starting to think about like how I want to attack my YouTube content, but also too, it's evergreen and it's probably gonna be the safest way to, I think, a full-time career. I feel like that's probably the way that I feel most comfortable going about the business. Yeah, I think YouTube. I also love doing it. I love the art form of YouTube. I love the like learning aspect of it and stuff too. Like I spend a lot of time on YouTube. My daily routine when I wake up is gonna be a breakfast burrito, coffee, and then a YouTube video. More than likely gonna be from like Jayhawk, Biggie Live, Peter McKinnon, Matt Hapoya, anyone that really does a vlog too, like anyone that does consistent vlogs and stuff too, like I love watching that stuff. So that is probably one of my biggest goals I have set for myself this year, is to really become a massive presence on YouTube. ERC820 asks, top 3 Starbucks drinks and why? Ooh, how do you narrow it down to just 3? But I think I got this. I actually thought about this before I got to this question. I think I got it. So my top 3 are gonna be pumpkin spice cold brew. Next up is gonna be the vanilla sweet cream cold brew, which I absolutely love. And then my buddy Jayhawk got me turned on to the sugar cookie latte at Starbucks. So those are my top 3. And actually I think I would put vanilla sweet cream cold brew at the top of that, just because I feel like it's the perfect balance of bitter, but also sweet at the same time with the sweet cream. How could you go wrong with that, you know? So those are my top 3 drinks at Starbucks. Greg Tardif asks, how do you like wearing glasses? Do you want laser eye surgery ever? It's kind of funny because at the beginning of this video, I wasn't wearing my glasses, but lo and behold, now I am. I don't mind wearing glasses. I actually kind of like it. I feel like it's a nice accessory piece, to be completely honest. I do have a slight stigmatism in my left eye, so I could still see perfectly fine and read things perfectly fine without my glasses. Yeah, I don't really care about laser surgery, because if I really don't want to wear glasses, I won't. I've done that for a couple times a day, like a few days, and I just don't mind wearing glasses. They're just a nice accessory, I think. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna butcher this name. Bakr Shah. How do you pick yourself up when you're feeling anxious or depressed? So usually, honestly, I feel like I get a lot of enjoyment watching my own content. So going back, looking at old content that I've created, I really enjoy doing that stuff. It helps me kind of remind me like, A, where I came from, B, why I love doing what I'm doing and why I push myself to do it. And also recently, when I've started doing journaling and also therapy, journaling has been huge. Like if I'm just like having a really down moment, journaling about it. Even yesterday, I was kind of going through something and I was kind of thinking through it with my thought process of like, is it really worth being upset over? I would say that that's kind of how I pick myself up. Nathan Robinson asks, have you traveled? If so, what countries have you been to? So I've only ever been off the continent once. And technically it was still within the territory of the United States, which was to Puerto Rico. I was with a company where I won a free trip to Puerto Rico, which was funny because that trip happened after I'd gone to Disney World the week before for the first time ever. So that was really awesome. And that was a great experience. Puerto Rico though, the food there is fantastic. The steak is absolutely amazing. Like I think it's like skirt steak or strip steak or something like that. It was amazing. Absolutely fantastic food. Loved it. And yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool to see the culture and the difference and stuff like there too, but it was really awesome. That's basically all I've done. I would like to travel to Canada this year, and at some point I would like to travel to all the other places where Disney resorts are, because if you don't know, I'm a huge Disney fan. I would love to go to every single Disney resort in the world. That is a bucket list of mine. Next question comes from Mark Lynch. What's the best game you've ever played? I gotta say one of my favorite games of all time has to be Final Fantasy 15. Reason being is that whenever I played that game, it was one of the first games that truly like emotionally tugged at my heartstrings. This is before I played Kingdom Hearts, but it was the first game where I was like, wow, like I was so emotionally invested in the characters and the story and everything going on. And I was like, I wish I had this kind of experience. Like I wish I had these friends with this adventure. Like that was the very first game that did that to me. And it holds a very special place in my heart because of that. So question comes from California Fats. What's your favorite thing about yourself? By the way, you have the most amazing mullet. I know that wasn't the question, but still. Favorite thing about myself, I don't know. I mean, honestly, as weird as it is, because I know that sometimes I have like self-esteem issues and stuff. I mean, I think like everyone else does. I really do enjoy who I am and I like myself. I guess just my determination and willingness to never give up, I guess, is probably one of my more favorite things. Yeah, I'm thankful that I've had the head and the heart to actually push myself this far in this content creation journey and stuff like that. So outside of that, I guess just like my willingness to make other people laugh, even at my own expense, is probably another favorite thing of myself. Those two things I think probably make up a good amount of who I am. So that's pretty much it. This is gonna be a super long video. I'm so sorry. I think next time I'm just gonna like try and rapid fire these questions, but they're really good questions. I appreciate it. If you guys didn't get to ask a question, then just follow me on Instagram and stuff like that, Twitter, because I'll be doing this again. This is a lot of fun. I really liked it. I loved it. It was great. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next video. And let me know what you guys think of this. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button if you guys want to see more content from me. Make sure you guys check out the socials down below to connect with me. Stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday on Twitch. And yeah, let me know what your favorite question was, or answer some of the questions I answered if you were like, oh, that's a good question. So I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.